Thank you. Okay. Oh, hi guys. How you doing? Um, DJ, my Scottish brother from a different mother, but the same Holy Father. Doris, bless your heart. Thank you for your financial contribution. God bless you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hello, Brian. Hey, Busha. That's Denise. I'll introduce you to the nephew also, okay? I'm sorry, that was too easy. Hello, Cindy. Hey, Basin One. Tammy. Mr. Ford. What does the green suit stand for? Green zone? Smoking. DJ says it stands for smoking. Hello, El Nika. Am I saying that right? El Nika? Hang in there with me, family. I've been having cramps all day. Maybe I should take that liquid back whenever you have time, okay? Ooh wee, ooh wee, ooh wee, ooh wee. Serious cramp around my neck right now. Dear God, help me. Bummer. That's what happens when you get old. Anyways, I was saying, El Nika, Debbie, Baraska, something like that. Earl Miller, hang in there. Let me grab my sunglasses. Too bright? I get it. Hello, Pamela. Hello, Debbie. Oh, dear me. Hello, Cody. Hello, Trish. Why is the screen all black? I don't know. My shirt's black. I hope you can fix it. I hope you can fix it, Trish. Hello, Doris. Appreciate you. Appreciate you too. Appreciate you. Hello, Robert Jones. Sharon. Sharon Rose Sawyer. Hello, Trish Klein. Basin One. Let's not forget to hit the like button. What's there not to like? Here's my elixir. I gotta drink this stuff. Hello, Donna Joe Watson. Hey, Busa again. Linda Bay Babin. Where did you get this? Because the one I used last night was as hard as a rock.
In the same package.
Wow, this won't go away.
Turn the ringer off on your phone.
Okay. Bring her off. Oh my goodness. Hello, Mario Martinez. Green for go. Yeah, that's a good one. Ray Cox, how are you? El Nica. You're from Nicaragua. Nicaragua means black water. Hello, Sylvie. Yeah. Bissonette. From Quebec. Oh, Canada. You gotta get rid of your prime minister. Hello, Debbie Baracas. Baraska. Something like that. Boy, that hurts around my neck. Hello, Chef Mike. We're not old. He says we're retro. Yeah, I'm retro back to the days of Fred Flintstone, I guess. Good, Trish. I'm glad you fixed it. DJ, my brother. Tamara. Hi, how are you? Chef Mike says, because as I say, how are you? He says, old. Don Cook. That's interesting. Don Cook posted right after Chef Mike. Maybe Don Cook can cook with Chef Mike. Nathan Toms. I am very excited about tonight, Mr. Frank. Sherry's Hello, Sherry. Hello, Eddie Panaro from Florida, my baker. What's that? Who was that? Who was that? What was that? Was that a mouse? I heard something in back of me. El Nika says, that's a very green suit you got on. Yeah, very green.
This is like from the mask. The
Huh?
green suit from the mask.
The mask, yeah, that's where this green suit comes from the mask. Okay, do we have our guest here?
No.
Hector Diaz, hello. Sharon Rose, hello. Tammy Womack, green for cash. Sheila Bowman, that color made me want to put my shades on and say, show me the money. Denise Dosset, if I'm saying that right, from Alberta, Canada. T. Allen, Claire, Kim, Hirschenberger, Dinar Happiness from Calgary. We got a lot of Canadians today. Good grief, that's wonderful. I felt the cold air. No. Priscilla, how are you, Priscilla? Jan, would you get this? No, never mind, they hung up. Rain Lady Valley, I think is what that. Hola, Frank, from Bill and Barbara. Rainland Valley, you're the man. When it comes to the truth. Oh, God bless you. Hey, Reggie boy. Hello, S. Coop. Okay, it's 6 o'clock and they're not here, you saying?
Nobody's on your side yet.
Okay,
Yes, Dr. Lana is here.
Okay, good. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and get started. You ready?
Don't forget to unmute my phone.
Right.
Put the speaker on.
Speaker is on.
Okay.
What? 3, 2, 1, go.
The recording has started.
Greetings, family. Welcome to another one of your Frank 26 YouTubies. It's good to be with you. It is the 30th, the last day of November of 2022. And I greet you with agape love. Before we do anything, we always go to God. Will you go with me? Will you hold my hand spiritually as we pray? Abba, Heavenly Father, we give you all honor and glory. You are our God. We love you. We appreciate you. We thank you for always being there for us. And I'm sorry when I'm not there for you. Be with us this evening. Give us the words, the knowledge, the understanding, the wisdom on how to share this knowledge of these products. Because Abba, Heavenly Father, they have been a blessing to many people. I'm really, really proud of these products, and I thank you for tonight. Help me tonight also, Father, to be able to be able to deliver what Walking Stick gave us. For it is in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ, that I pray by the Holy Spirit. Amen. 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 Anyways, it's good to be with everybody, and we're going to get started right away. First, we have Dr. Lana. Dr. Lana is going to talk to you, ladies and gentlemen, and as you know, this has been a very, very successful program. In fact, I'm not even going to waste any more time. Dr. Lana, are you there?
I am here, and amen to your beautiful prayer. I'm here, Frank, yes.
Well, amen. Thank you. It's good to be with you again because, yeah, your product has made a difference in a lot of people. Please take the next 45 minutes, talk as much as you want. Maybe we can leave the last 10, 15 minutes to questions and answers, okay?
That would be lovely with me.
All right,
Perfect.
the floor is yours.
Okay, welcome, everyone. I'm honored to be here. I'm Dr. Lana Contos. I'm a board-certified naturopathic doctor and diet and lifestyle intervention practitioner and a digestive health specialist. And I'm very humbled and honored to be here. And I'm also humbled to be a medical advisory board member at this company, Awakened. And I'm going to talk to you about a product called Venus. It's very, very different than anything you've ever heard. It is one of a kind. There's nothing out there like it, and it has to do with clinically proven fat loss. If you or someone you love or know has said, oh my goodness, I live on lettuce and I just can't get weight off, I starve myself and I can't lose weight, or, if a woman's had a baby or gone through menopause and just struggling, or a man says, I just do everything I can. I'm working out, I'm eating healthy, and I can't get this weight off. Let me tell you, it is not your fault. I want to free you right now. It's not your fault. And there is a hormone that was discovered in 1994 called leptin. L like Larry, E like Edward, P like Paul, T like Thomas, I like iceberg, N like Nancy. Leptin. It's a hormone, okay, that your body releases. It helps maintain body weight, okay, and it is secreted by your adipose tissue, by our body fat. Our body fat releases leptin, and it's supposed to maintain our body weight on a long-term basis, okay? It does this by regulating our hunger, okay? And it's supposed to provide that feeling like, oh, I'm full. I don't want to eat anymore. I don't want to snack on those cookies. I don't want to hunt around in my kitchen after dinner and find some chocolate or chips, or I don't want to hunt around late at night and snack like I know, me included over the years, that we do. Leptin is supposed to control us from doing that, okay? And leptin's a hormone, okay? And hormones, they're chemicals that they coordinate different functions in our body, okay? They carry messages. They carry messages through your blood, and they carry messages to your tissues, and hormones carry messages to your muscles. Hormones carry messages to your organs, okay? They're signals that tell your body, what to do, how to do it, when to do it, right? That's what hormones are, and leptin is a hormone. And its main function is to regulate the body weight in our food intake, okay, and how we use energy. So this is what innocently happens over time. There are, messages, the communication between our fat cells and our hypothalamus and our brain that gets muted. It gets muffled. And I tell everybody in my practice, I say, okay, think of a mother standing out on the front porch and she's hollering to her son and daughter to come in for dinner, Johnny and Susie. And Johnny and Susie are acres and acres away, and they're through the woods, and they're playing with their friends, and they're over the creek, and the mom's saying, come in for dinner, Johnny and Susie. Johnny and Susie aren't coming in for dinner because Johnny and Susie don't even hear their mom calling. That's what happens when we have too much leptin in our bodies. There's too much. So the signaling to the brain that says, stop eating, I'm full, burn fat, that gets shut down. Those messages get shut down. There's too much leptin. The brain doesn't hear those signals to stop eating and burn fat. So what happens, my friends? The body stores fat, gain weight. We gain weight, we store fat because the brain isn't hearing those signals anymore because we have too much leptin. How in the world do we get too much leptin? Well, we eat too much, we gain weight, it's innocent because we're starving, right? We just are like, oh, I need food, because our messaging and our brain is not getting there. So we may have elevated leptin from medications, from stress, from diet, processed foods, sugar, alcohol, innocent life that happens over the years cause us to have elevated leptin. And when we have elevated leptin, it tells our body to eat more, eat more, eat more. We eat more, we gain weight, we have more leptin, and the signals are even muted even more, even stronger. So it seems just like this hamster wheel that's so unfair, and I want to release you and free you because it's not your fault. If you've gained 5 pounds, 10 pounds, 20 pounds, 120 pounds, and you're like, I've done everything, Dr. Lana, I can't get it off, it's not your fault. You are leptin resistant for the reason that I just explained. Okay, so like a vicious circle. And what happens is leptin acts on the brainstem and it acts on the hypothalamus to regulate hunger. And when you've got too much of it, I tell people it's like you hear the phrase, you can't see the forest for the trees, right? Well, you're in the trees. They're all around you. You're in the forest, but you can't see the forest for the trees. There's so much leptin, the brain doesn't hear the signal to burn fat anymore. And so it stores it. It stores fat. And you may know that the hypothalamus is remarkable. It's the command center. It's responsible for homeostasis, for balance in the body. Leptin and the hypothalamus have to do with far more than fat loss. It has to do with thyroid health and testosterone and making new red blood cells and digestive health, reproductive health, cardiovascular health, insulin resistance. So if you can balance leptin, can you imagine the other positive health outcomes that may occur? And I want to be really clear, my friends here, I'm not making any medical claims. I'm not making any health claims that Zenith, this product, can cure anything or heal anything. There's no medical claims or health claims made, but I am telling you unequivocally in university studies, clinically proven studies, they're double-blind, placebo-controlled studies in American universities that showed that after 8 weeks, on average, there was a 21.3-pound fat loss, not water weight loss, and not lean muscle mass loss. We don't want to lose our lean muscle mass. Lean muscle mass burns calories. Lean muscle burns more calories than fat. So this is true fat loss. They used DEXA scans to measure the fat loss in these studies. So the DEXA scan is used, you may know, to measure bone density. Used in usually women, they'll get DEXA scans to see if they have osteoporosis or osteopenia or osteomalacia, meaning, the bones are softening or the bone density is decreasing. Well, I just want to tell you a side note. Our bone density is supposed to naturally decrease. God made our bodies like that. So if we eat good whole foods and we drink our water and get out in the sun and walk, we shouldn't have to worry about osteoporosis and things like that. But my point is they used the DEXA scan in the study to measure fat loss. It's 100% fat loss. And actually, the good news is, in the study, Zenith was shown to gain 1.5 pounds of lean muscle mass. So on average, they lost 21 pounds of fat, and they gained a pound of lean calorie-burning muscle mass, which is super exciting. And there was also a 100-person test group that took Zenith since June of 2022. They had the same results as the university clinical studies. So that's very exciting because it shows that just a group of 100 people, they had the same results as the studies in the universities. So very, very exciting there. And I want to share with you that the 100-person test group since this past summer, now this is anecdotal, meaning this is stories, what I'm going to tell you right now. But almost all of the 100 people in the test group, and this wasn't in the university, this was in the 100-person test group, they said basically the same thing. And this is anecdotal, meaning this is their words, this is the story, not in the study. Those 100 people almost all of them said, oh my goodness, I'm so happy on Venus. I'm so happy I can't stand myself. Some people say, I'm so happy I don't know what to do with myself. I'm not upset. I'm not anxious. I'm not nervous. And I think I'm getting so much more done during the day. I'm getting more done at work. I'm getting more done at home. And I'm sleeping like a baby. And this makes so much sense to me. Now, that was their stories. But it makes so much sense to me because this acts on the brainstem, Venus acts on the hypothalamus, and it would regulate the sleep cycle. It has to do with thyroid health, as I mentioned, and making new red blood cells, and digestive health, and cardiovascular health, and insulin resistance, and reproductive health, testosterone. So when you balance leptin, you not only lose fat, you also help there's other areas in the body that are helped. And this is just the physiology of the human body. We're not making any medical claims. And I also want to share with you that when you lose fat, this is really exciting. When you lose fat, like I said, Venus helps you lose fat, not water and not lean muscle mass. What happens is the cell receptor sites, the proteins on the cell membranes, they get unclogged, so to speak. So I share a story in my practice. I tell my patients, I say, imagine all your neighbor kids, the bad kids in the neighborhood came over and they super glued all your doors and windows shut, your garage doors are shut and glued shut, and your windows and your doors and your key locks. You're inside the house, or the rest of your family's outside in the yard. And everything is sealed shut. That's what happens when fat blocks your receptor sites, when fat blocks the doors and windows into your cells, when fat gets inside your muscle cells. So guess what? If weeks and months and years went on and you couldn't get in or out of your house, that's a problem, right? What would happen? Oh my goodness, garbage would be accumulating inside your house. You couldn't take it out to the garbage man. And goodness, your family can't get in, and you can't get groceries and new fresh food inside your house, right? You've got a problem. That's what happens when there's too much fat. Innocent, by the way, because there's a hormone. You're leptin resistant. This is a hormone imbalance. This isn't a diet. It's not a diet pill. And I want you to just relax, because this is not your fault if this is you and you've got some pounds to lose. So what happens is those neighbor kids sealed up your doors and windows, while the fat sealed up your doors and windows on your cells, your receptor site, so to speak. This means the toxins can't get out of your cells. The glucose or the food can't get inside your cells, and the hormones cannot get in your cells. So guess what happens when you faithfully take Venus? Capsules a day, 2 capsules before your 2 largest meals a day, like about a half an hour before your 2 largest meals. If you forget, don't worry, you could take them with your 2 largest meals. And I'm going to tell you what else you do, because you're going to do 3 simple things. But when you start to take Venus faithfully every day, it takes about 4 to 6 weeks to balance leptin. So there's a 60-day money-back guarantee with Venus.
Yes.
But what happens over the first 4 to 6 weeks, your leptin starts to balance, fat starts to drop. And guess what happens to your cells when the fat loss happens in your body? Those neighbor kids, those super glued windows and everything, your doors and windows that were super glued shut, they're open again. And when you lose fat, your receptor sites on your cell, they're unclogged, they're opened. So guess what? You can take out the trash. You can get food inside your cells. You can get glucose in your cells. You can take out the trash. The toxins can leave your cells now. And the hormones can go in and out as needed. And that's what Venus does. It helps balance your leptin. Your hormones are balanced. Your leptin is lowered. So fat is lost, because now your brain's saying, hey, I can hear you again. I can hear that signaling from those fat cells. I'm not that hungry. I don't want a snack at night. I don't need a late night treat. I don't need to eat more after dinner. Actually, I finished my dinner and I don't need a second helping. And guess what, body? Burn fat, burn fat, burn fat. There's more good news with Venus. The leptin is now lowered, so the body's burning fat. But guess what else? It also raises a hormone called adiponectin by 114% in 8 weeks. What happens when you raise adiponectin? Guess what? Adiponectin is an anti-inflammatory, my friends. And adiponectin tells the body, get rid of this fat, release the fat, release the fat. So the leptin's burning it up, and the adiponectin's taking it out. It's like if you had a big bonfire in your yard to burn all your garbage, and now you've got all this ash left. Well, then you're going to put all the ashes in garbage bags, and you're going to take the garbage bags out to the curb. So the leptin's the fire, burning it up, and the adiponectin's the garbage man, taking it out away from your curb. So the leptin burns fat, the adiponectin says, let's get rid of this fat. And leptin was reduced by 43% on average in 8 weeks, and adiponectin was raised by 114% in 8 weeks. This is astounding. And as you can tell, this is far more than fat loss. As you can tell, you can look up on PubMed.gov. Go look up what leptin does, what regulating leptin does in the body. Go look up the leptin and the hypothalamus in the body. It's hypothalamus, the hypothalamus in the brain. Pretty darn important. It's a command center. It balances your body. It helps your body stay in homeostasis or balance. And look up leptin balancing and elevated leptin and all of these things. And I tell people to go to PubMed.gov, PubMed.gov, because that's the National Library of Medicine. So you're not going to get all this willy-nilly stuff and studies that were paid for, by companies and pharmaceutical companies and this and that. You're going to get the National Library of Medicine. So I encourage people, if you're a science geek like me, and you want more information on leptin and the hypothalamus and how, what's going on here with Venus, you can go to PubMed.gov and just type in the search bar, lowering leptin or balancing leptin or leptin in the hypothalamus and how leptin acts on the brainstem. You will be astounded. You will say, holy cow, I see what Dr. Lana was saying. Gosh, this Zenith is not only fat loss, excuse me, this is really a wellness tool that I want to take really for the rest of my life. And we encourage people to take Zenith for a year, at least for 8 weeks faithfully. And you get your money back in 8 weeks or 60 days. If you hate it, you promise you take it faithfully, and you don't like it in 60 days or 8 weeks, you get your money back. That's really amazing. That's how sure. We're not here to say, gosh, try this and see if Zenith works. We know it works. There's beautiful placebo-controlled, double-blind clinical university studies proving it works. We don't need to be concerned if it works. But I understand. We respect everyone, and they may say, hey, you know what, I want to try this faithfully for 8 weeks and see what happens to me. Go right ahead. If you say you don't like it, you get your money back in 8 weeks. And I can tell you honestly, no one in that test group asked for their money back. No one wants their money back. But nevertheless, it's a no-risk guarantee for you to try it faithfully for 8 weeks. And all you have to do is focus on 3 things. This isn't a diet. This isn't a diet pill, a magic pill, a weight loss pill. That is not, or I wouldn't do it. And I wouldn't be on the medical board of this company if I wouldn't stake my practice and reputation here if that was the case. This balances the hormone. This balances leptin, increases adiponectin. And all I want you to do is remember 3 things. I call them the 3 W's. It's water, walking, and watching sugar. And this is how it goes. Water, the first W. If you don't have kidney disease, if you do have kidney disease, I want you to go right to your nephrologist, your kidney doctor, because they'll tell you exactly how much water you can drink. So I'm saying you don't have kidney disease. You need to drink 1/2 of your body weight in ounces of plain, filtered, still water with no lemons, no limes, nothing in it, because lemons and limes start the digestive process. You can put lemons and limes in your water that you drink with your meals. But an hour away from your meals, I want you to consume 1/2 of your body weight in ounces. So if somebody weighs 200 pounds, you need to drink 100 ounces of plain still water a day. Somebody weighs 150 pounds, they need to drink 75 ounces of plain still water a day. That's number one. Your body, you wake up at about a 10-cup deficit. Your cells are crying for plain, still, good filtered water every day. They can't function without water. I know it's not fun if you're not a water drinker, but I want you to think, geez, this is God made you. You're miraculously made by God, and your body's your temple, and you want to fill it with good filtered water. Your cells can't run. They need oxygen, they need glutathione, they need water. So water is number one. Number two, the second W is walking. If you can, and I don't want you to feel like you have to drive yourself crazy. You're not doing P90X. You're not doing super crazy exercises or going to the Olympics. Just walk if you can. Walk and maybe get a Fitbit or check on your phone or get something easily inexpensive that you can count your steps and try to get up to 7,000 to 10,000 steps a day. If you can't, don't worry. Start with 1,000 steps. Maybe get to 2,000 steps, maybe 3,000 steps a day. Get some friends or a colleague of yours or a neighbor or a lovely friend and walk. That's all. Just try to walk every day. No big deal. Just try to walk. The third W is watch your sugar. And this is what I mean by that. Not a crazy diet, but watch your sugar. And you're all very savvy, very intelligent, or you wouldn't be in Frank's family here, Frank and Jan's family. So the third W is watch your sugar. And what do I mean by that? We all know what sugar is. Cakes, cookies, candies, muffins, all those protein bars that are full of sugar, the fiber bars that are full of sugar that really are more like candy bars, the breakfast cereal that's really like a bowl of dessert and candy, all the sugar, chocolate, cinnamon, frosted, sugary stuff, the Starbucks drinks that have all those pumps of sugar in them, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, soda pop, cakes, cookies, muffins, junk. You know what sugary foods are.
Cookies.
Avoid those unless it's your birthday or Christmas or your anniversary, something special. Of course, I had pumpkin desserts, for Thanksgiving. Of course, on Christmas, the birth of our Savior, of course, have some Christmas cookies, but have them Christmas Eve and have them Christmas Day and be done. Don't live on Christmas cookies for 3 weeks into January and into Valentine's Day. You know what I mean? So back down the sugar. Don't drink fruit juice. That's the only thing I'll tell you that most people think, some apple juice, orange juice, grapefruit juice. It's a glass of sugar. It's a glass of fructose. It's bad on your digestive system. It's tough on your cardiovascular system. Eat the fruit. Eat God's fruit. Eat an orange. Eat an apple. Eat a pear. Eat a grapefruit. Eat a banana. Eat a bowl of watermelon. Have at it. God made the fruit. It has fiber in it. That's fine. Fruit juice is a glass of fructose or a glass of sugar. Just don't have fruit juice. You can have vegetable juice and you can eat the fruit. But other than fruit juice and soda pop, the rest is pretty common knowledge. Cakes, cookies, pies, all that junk. So water, walking, and watch your sugar. That's really all. And you take Venus, take 4 capsules a day, 2 twice a day, half hour or with your 2 largest meals, and drink your water, get out in the sun, say your prayers, have a nice day, and don't stress about this. This product works. I've never seen anything like it in my practice. I have obese patients in my practice. They've lost like 50 pounds with me doing whole food nutrition, and then they just couldn't lose more. And I knew they were leptin resistant, and I've never had anything safe to help them. This is just plant fibers and chelated fatty acids. That's it. We have frequently asked questions documents for you. We have a 3-minute video. We have the ingredients. The last thing I'll say is if you're on medication, it's really easy. You just call your doctor's office. And before you start, you say, look, doctor, I'm going to email or drop off or mail in the ingredient list. There's only 2 ingredients. I'm going to email the supplement facts, the ingredient list. And I'm taking this clinically proven, patented plant-based fat loss accelerator. I'm going to take it, doctor. It's safe. I know it's safe, but they tell me that you're going to need to help me manage my medication because it's proven to lose fat. And I know as I lose fat, I'm going to need my medications managed. I'm probably going to need them lowered and maybe even eliminated. And I want you to know what I'm taking. I'm going to start taking them, that day or after, you see the doctor, and they're going to have to manage your medications. And I'll tell you right now, as a naturopathic doctor, I'm not making health claims, but if somebody is a type 2 diabetic, if you're on type 2 diabetes medication or if you're on cholesterol medication, you're probably going to be able to go off of them. I'm not making health claims. I don't know you. You're not my patient. But I'm just telling you, when you lose fat, those are medications that are pretty easy to go off of. Cholesterol meds, type 2 diabetic meds, but you will do it with the help of your primary care physician or your endocrinologist, your doctor who prescribed the medication. I'm not against medications. I was trained by Ivy League medical doctors. There's a time and a place for medicine. There's a time and a place for surgery. But you all know we're over-medicated in the United States. We're just over-medicated. We don't need that much. I don't take any. I'm 58. My husband's 62. He doesn't take any. But if you're on them, go back to your doctor and they'll help you monitor them. And it's highly likely that you may be able to eliminate them with the help of your doctor. So I would stop here and answer any questions, Frank. I hope that was helpful for all of you. I feel so blessed for the medical colleague that called me and told me about Zenith. I have people crying with gratitude in my practice because they're finally able to get the weight off. And you may not lose weight, you may not lose pounds for the first 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks because it takes 4 to 6 weeks to balance leptin, but you're going to lose inches, I'm telling you. So weigh yourself the first day and take your body measurements the first day. We have a tracker we could send you to take your body measurements, and take your measurements every week. But you may not want to weigh yourself. Weigh yourself the first day. You don't have to tell anybody what you weigh. Weigh yourself the first day so you know. And you may not want to weigh yourself for 2 or 3 weeks into it, or even 4 weeks into it. But take your body measurements. Like every Monday morning, take your body measurements head to toe. Your neck, your bust, your waist, your hips, your thighs, your calves. Because when you lose fat, you'll lose inches. Very exciting. So I hope this was helpful. And Frank, I'm happy and humbled to answer any questions for you all.
Thank you, Dr. Lana. I believe we're going to have some. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the time now. Go ahead and post your questions, and let's see if we can ask Dr. Lana some things about this product. If you notice, she was talking to you about the things that you shouldn't indulge in. And the number one thing is sugar. I just dealt with cancer for the last 3 years of my life, and the number one thing was sugar. Sugar is good in the sense of energy, especially quick energy, but you want to find the sugar from the best place. Coca-Cola or Pepsi or whatever that is, they're now using cane sugar to make their soft drinks. Anything to improve the condition to try to buy you more. Just be careful. If you eat grapes, don't sit there and eat 2 big handfuls of grapes. Fructose is good, but if you overdo the fructose, it may not be that good for you. If you're already on that borderline to being diabetic, or you are diabetic, even fructose will push you over. You got to be careful. You have to be careful. I envisioned that if I walked into a room and there was a door on the other side of that room, I could probably get to that door in less than 2 seconds. I'm still pretty fast. But what if that room was filled with people? Well, that's what rooms are for, to put people in. But what if I put way too many people in that room? And I open the door, and how long do you think it'll take me to get to the other side of that room where the other door is at? I'll struggle. It won't be less than 2 seconds. The human body has a plumbing system, a cardiovascular system, arteries, veins, capillaries, microcapillaries. And they have a diameter, a specific diameter. And it allows the perfusion of blood through your body. Perfusion is a $10 word that means movement. Now, if I can't get across that room fast enough to get out of that room, I'm stuck in that room. I didn't go anywhere. One of the things about the diameter of our arteries, capillaries, veins, is that we have way too much fat. What you have around your waist is what you have around your heart. The diameter of your plumbing system in your body should be a specific amount, but it's less and less. It's actually more and more narrow because of what we put in our bodies. A lot of fat. It has a tendency to cling to the walls. It's called plaque. Not for your teeth, but for your arteries. It's not welcome. It's not good. And it's just like me trying to get through that room. Your blood is trying to get through your plumbing system to deliver blood to your brain. Oh, I got a headache. Oh, I can't think well. Oh, my vision is blurry. What happens if you just did 20 jumping jacks? Your heart would pump faster. And it would actually probably improve your homeostasis condition, your headache, whatever it may be. Fat is not your friend. Not even if you're a sumo wrestler. Fat is not your friend. The only place that it's good for is in the brain. You ever see a brain? It's all white, right? It's all white because it's all fat. The adipose tissue, the squamous cells that protect the brain have to be that way. That's a lot of the cushion that protects that brain. But ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Lana has brought you a product that you can take. And if you dedicate yourself to it, let's say at least 2 months, you're going to see an average of a little over 20 pounds that you'll lose. Now, don't be unfair when you buy this product and then you sit there and you eat a whole pizza that night thinking that it's okay, I took my pills to burn this fat. No, don't take 2 steps forward and 1 backwards. Keep moving forward. Help your body. The doctor told you water's important. We're bags of water. You don't want to be a raisin. Look at your skin. You want to be like a plump grape filled with water. We are carbon-based units that need food because it has carbon. But we also breathe in oxygen. And together it's called metabolism. We burn our food. And every time we do it, it ages us. It ages us. It creates free radicals in our body. This product is going to help you, family, to lose weight. And when you lose weight, you're going to gain benefits of your body because what did the Dr. Lana say? What we're doing is we are literally unclogging. Do you ever have to unclog your sink or your toilet? Water can't get through, can it? Don't expect anything that is nutritional to get through into your body when you have a lot of body fat that's pushing against your cardiovascular system, that's not allowing the blood to move throughout your body. Maybe your fingertips are cold, your ears are cold, your nose is cold. Those are the extremities of your bodies. That would be a good telltale sign that you need a little help in losing some weight so that you can move your blood a little better. Blood is life. The blood of Jesus is eternal life. Let us look at this product and let us look at some questions now. Dr. Lana, I'm going to go back. And I know that there was one person, Ron, was asking, will this product affect my testosterone? Will it affect estrogen?
That's a great question. And there is absolutely, and everybody's different. But yes, this acts on when you start to balance leptin. And as I shared, it opens up that communication with the hypothalamus and the brainstem. That does have an effect on testosterone, thyroid. So the whole hormone cascade can start to balance. So we are going to be doing more studies, because the main study, and I think you said Ron asked this, the main study, Ron, was done for specific fat loss. I will share that they are doing animal studies too, and I know they'll continue to do human studies. But bottom line, they already saw that effect in animals. Cholesterol was lowering, metabolism was raising, it was anti-inflammatory, anti-aging, testosterone, the whole hormone cascade was balancing, and that includes testosterone, estrogen, all of that. Because, and I tell people too, you made a good point, Frank. I just want to add one more comment about the testosterone and estrogen. You made a good point that fat is not our friend. And we just eat too many animals. You do not have to be a vegan. You can eat your organic, your steaks or chicken or hamburger and eggs and salmon. I'm not saying there's no science that says you have to be a vegan to be healthy. That's not what I'm saying at all. But when we eat way too much fat, namely animal fat, we are eating, and this is one of the main things I tell my private patients, and they sit back and they say, oh my goodness, nobody ever told me that before. This is like a light bulb. And this has to do with the testosterone and estrogen and hormone cascade. When you eat too much fat, namely animal fat, whether that's butter or meat or chicken or what have you, too much of it, you are ingesting that animal's hormone cascade. And here we're having trouble balancing our own hormones, right? As we get older, the testosterone, estrogen, and here we're eating too much fat, too many animals, too much animal fat. We're eating that animal's hormone cascade, and we can't even balance our own stinking hormones, right? So what I would encourage you to do is take the Zenith, drink your water, and just maybe ease back on some animal protein. Maybe have more plant-based dinners, a few more nights a week is all, just as a helpful tip there. Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am, indeed. We have about 5 minutes, so another quick question. This person, Biker, is asking, can I take this this with bitter orange? With anything, I guess.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. No problem.
It can be taken with
Sure.
anything, yeah. Let's see here. Let me find. I'm looking for.
Bypass surgery, folks.
Yes. If I recall, this product is not recommended for people that have had gastro bypass surgery. Is that correct, Dr. Lana?
That's correct. Just because now I do have somebody that had gastric bypass 18 years ago. They insisted on taking Zenith, and I'm going to monitor, see how they do. But yes, the scientists told us that they probably would not respond to Zenith if they had gastric bypass. That gastric bypass or pregnant women should not take
Or a pregnant
Zenith.
woman.
Again,
Okay.
it's perfectly safe, but we can't tell a pregnant woman to take it, and a gastric bypass patient probably wouldn't respond.
And is the company down the road going to be making a product for our pets as well? Is that what I understand?
I don't know for sure, but there was a conversation around that. So
Well, that
I
would be
don't
good.
know for sure, but there is conversation around that, because they have the proprietary blend, they have the formula, and even nursing mothers can take Zenith. That's how safe it is. So I'm sure, for pets, dogs, and cats, I don't know that yet, but there's some conversation is the accurate answer.
Mordecai is asking, what does it do for cholesterol? Well, it's gonna lower it tremendously. That's what the doctor said. Go right ahead, Dr. Lana. Any comment on that?
No, Well, right, and we can't legally say, oh my gosh, you're going to get off your cholesterol medication and it's going to lower your cholesterol. But when you lose fat, the cholesterol automatically drops. The total cholesterol, LDL cholesterol, and even your good HDL cholesterol will drop. And I studied for years back and forth at Cleveland Clinic with a top surgeon on cardiovascular health. And I'm telling you, don't panic. Your cardiologist may be like apoplectic and go crazy when your HDL drops, but it's okay. Your HDL will drop because you don't need as much of it because you're dropping your LDL, your bad cholesterol too. But yes, when you lose fat, your total cholesterol dropped. It's just an amazing, wonderful thing.
Someone was asking, what does this program cost?
You can come in and get a wholesale, like for one bottle, 2 months in a row. Retail is $160, and I want to talk about cost really quick as we wind down. We tell everybody, don't pay retail. It's really silly. Don't want you to pay that. Plus, you need at least 2 bottles because you want to take it for 8 weeks, and you can get your money back in 8 weeks if you don't like it. But I want to share something about the cost. So don't do retail. Wholesale customers, preferred customers, is $145 a month or $145 a bottle. If you would like to be a distributor and share it, it's $135 a bottle. Now, let me share something with you, and this is really interesting. So, I'm a numbers girl, obviously science-based, but on average, I don't know if you all know this, on average, really quick here, the average American will spend about $308,000 of their own money out of pocket in medical expenditures over their lifetime, even if they have good insurance. If they do not get their body weight in control and their health in control and be in control of their health and just go see their medical doctor once a year for a checkup, go see your dentist twice a year, ladies, go see your OBGYN once a year. But I'm saying, don't be a patient in the medical mill. That costs, on average, over $308,000 of your own money. People don't realize in lifetime expenditures. If you took 4 capsules a day of Zenith for the next 60 years, you would only spend 1/3 of that amount in the next 60 years. This is far and away for what it does in the body. This is extraordinarily affordable because this is not a diet pill. You can tell. This is an extraordinary product that can have profound health benefits. Well worth it.
Well, I believe we can end this with one more last question because it's being asked twice. Can someone that has congestive heart failure take this product?
Sure. Again, same, absolutely. And what you do is if you're on other medications, they probably are, just go to their doctor, send the ingredient list to their doctor and say, I'm going to take this. I'm actually excited for them to take it. I'm going to take this. So, doctor, I want you to manage my medications. And the last comment that I'll make, it's very important. You want to take Zenith about 90 minutes to 2 hours away from any other medications, not because Zenith is dangerous, but because Zenith may slow the absorption of some medications and vitamins. So you would take Zenith a half an hour, say, before lunch, eat your lunch half hour later, and then maybe towards the end of lunch an hour later, so now 90 minutes has gone by, then take your medication. Or take your medications at a totally different meal that you're not taking Zenith. But just about 90 minutes to 2 hours away from medications or vitamins, just because it may slow the absorption. But sure, if you have CHF or congestive heart disease, cardiovascular disease, sure, you can take Zenith.
I want to thank you, Dr. Lana. You have a beautiful product, and family, you can't argue with their money-back guarantee. Try it for 2 months. If it doesn't work, and the average is around 20-something pounds that you'll lose, that's a blessing. And if you are interested, you have 2 ways you can get a hold of Dr. Lana, as you can see here on this paper that I'm holding up. Or you can call me, and I'll make sure that Dr. Lana gets with you. And my phone number, as you know, is 419-283-2552. Family, it's a wonderful product. This is a time of season to love. This is the time of season where we give a gift of love. This would be a very nice product to give to somebody that you love that needs it. I am buying a lot
Right.
of this. I'm buying a lot of it for a lot of my family. Yes, yes, Dr. Lana.
Yeah, Frank, I'm sorry. I wanted to ask, they can go right to your website. I think Jan has it there, awakennation.com/Frank26. Do you have that there? They can go right directly there
Yes,
to
yes, I'm
order.
writing it down. Or excuse me, we've been showing it throughout the whole program. But the thing is
Oh,
that
perfect, perfect.
if they want to talk, they're welcome to call me. Or if they want to talk to you, they're welcome to email you, and then you'll get a hold of them.
Yes, go to inspiredbywellness.com and go to the contact section at inspiredbywellness.com. If you have any other questions, I will happily email you back. No problem at all.
Thank you kindly, Dr. Lana. God bless you, and we will bring you back on again. We'll definitely see you on our Monday UB2B.
Sounds great. Have a blessed evening, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now. All righty, family. Now that is a program that will help you to lose weight. It's not a diet program. You don't have to count calories. You don't have to have a menu to see what you want to eat. You don't have to starve yourself to death. But you also don't want to be living a silly lifestyle. You know, you want protein. You want some carbs. You want to stay away from sugars. Stay away from carbs that give you too many sugars. Help your body. And then with this product, it's different. It's exactly the way it should be. Physician, heal thyself. Body, heal thyself. You take this, it's going to tell the brain to produce the hormones that tells the body to lose fat. Now, if you're against that, then this product is not for you. But if you are interested in it, money back guarantee, then give me a holler. My name is Frank. My phone number is 419-283-2552. Now, the interesting thing is that we are now walking into our second infomercial, and then we'll have our information walking stick. But the second infomercial is also a product that is going to help you. Let's say that you're overweight. Let's say you have diabetes. Let's say you listen to the following program. Aaron, are you there, sir?
I am. Good evening, Frank. Good evening, Jan. Blessings to you both.
Good evening to you. You can take it to 7:35. The floor is yours.
Okay. Well, family, if any of you saw YouTube back on November 2nd, you heard my testimony. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to have a gentleman who is very knowledgeable drop some really serious knowledge on you all right now. This is Mr. Jeff Allen. Jeff, are you there?
You see him, Ben? Jeff, hit start.
No, just talk.
Just talk, Jeff, because we've already... There you are. Go ahead.
Great. The age of electronics, right?
Go right ahead, Jeff.
Well, thank you, Frank, for everything you're doing here. You know, for me, this began a number of years ago. You know, over 40 years in this profession, you know, there's some things that hit me just a number of years ago, about 25 to be exact, and I was a little resistant to be up front, and so what brought me here is simply because of my wife and her circumstances, and we were doing a lot, and, you know, from the past, but, you know, really what caught my attention was something that, you know, I hadn't really understood and didn't ever hear before, and that was the discovery of how the body functions and communicates at a cell level. And that's what this individual was talking to me about. He's more involved in infusion medicine, some other things that he was working with. But as a colleague, I know that he was telling me what he'd discovered, and so I was a little resistant. But about 4 months later, actually, it took working with an understanding from an individual who at the time was one of the chief immunologists with the NIH, and so I realized at that point that it was true, and so I began to back into this, want to know where this came from and how this came about. And what I really understood was, and to tell you kind of a story here is to the point and quick. I know I don't have till midnight, so I'll be quick. But you know, the reality is I discovered that there were two medical doctors, you know, actually one pathologist and one PhD chemist that were working for a pharmaceutical company back in the late 70s and were commissioned by a group of investors to actually look into this plant called aloe vera. And I know we all know about aloe vera. It's the cornerstone of medicine throughout eons. It was carried to battle with Alexander the Great back in those times that recorded history began. And, but even before that, it's mentioned 5 times in the Bible, starting with the book of Numbers all the way through John in chapter 19. So when you think about the role of this, you wonder why and what. There are a lot of claims being made about it, and as I heard Miss Lana, she's just, it's great listening to her, and she's so versed on, the body, because that's where we got to focus, not just some other ingredient. So I was so enthused by what she had shared, but, when you think about all of this and how this began to come together, they began to look into this, and people were making claims, and, so actually through their commission, they discovered in the mid-'80s that was actually purely by accident, as a matter of fact, they discovered a long-chain polysaccharide, like a pearl necklace of particular fractions known as monosaccharides or carbohydrates or sugars. Now, these aren't table sugars like we think, fructose, sucrose, etc., and all that, and dextrose, but it's a sugar nonetheless, such as many factors in the human body. There's more science to back this up since then. At that point, they began to go into research through double-blind, placebo-controlled studies, and repeated that several times. And the focus back then, of course, was AIDS. And, they were quite astounded at what they saw. And, yes, I'm very careful, too, because it's not just FDA, but federal trade controls how we talk when we represent a product. So it's important, and I think people are today, with all respect, are not dumb, and they do research. And if you really begin to dig into what Ms. Lund and other key professionals you've had share here, Frank, you'll find that this isn't just some other lotion or potion or powders and some other magic potion. But the reality is it is a discovery. And so this discovery is what had caught my attention. And through these 2 doctors' research, they went directly into the FDA, and they found that at no level it created a toxicity. And without an LD50 in medicine, we can't, of course, treat, cure, mitigate. It can't go into science. So for research, as far as being made into a therapeutic agent, from there, they were able to prove it had no P450 or drug interaction with any other supplement, compound, or any type of other pharmaceutical prescribed medication that we may be working with. So it was safe, bottom line. But that's where the debacle lied in trying to bring it to market here, is that it fell into the category of a food, not a drug. FDA is there to define the difference, but a food is not used to treat, cure, or mitigate. However, a drug can go through particular channels for science, proving efficacious rates, etc. So this sat on the shelf for about 9 years until contacting a man by the name of Sam Castor, who had a lot of experience, and these doctors sort of knew somebody that knew somebody, one of those. So, Sam was, at least willing to look. And, at that time he'd been very controversial in bringing things to market with what was considered disruptive technologies. And there's a lot more to say about that. But he looked into this and saw the potential and was able to begin to commercialize it. And the first generation of this was used into the adjunct for the poultry industry. It was used as a treatment against a T-cell lymphoma, referred to as Marek's disease. And today it's used as an adjunct into all poultry industry. From there, it went into the cats and dogs and veterinarian medicine, and through USDA, where it was looked at for feline leukemias and cancers in dogs and cats. That's another category. And of course, that's not what we're doing here, dealing with humans. But when it comes to this ingredient, through a word-of-mouth based movement, Sam was able to put together some people to begin to, tell some people and basically to create those clinical trials, those retrospective studies, so we could prove it was true. And after about a couple, 2 or 3 years of that, it was exploding at that point because of results. And so they were beginning to look more into it. And that's where I came into this in 98. And, my wife is a brittle diabetic. She had been through 2 kidney transplants. And, the list goes on. You know how that leads to, they were talking about amputation, blindness, and stroke. And I'm looking at everything myself going, I know we're doing all the best we can, but what else is there? And so that's where I was sort of introduced. And I guess I got to a point where I said, God, if you're real, you need to suit up and show up, because we need help. And so with all my knowledge that I'd learned and everything I've studied and researched over the years and what I've been doing, just wasn't making that difference. So I'm not here to, again, make claims and all, but this caught me by surprise. At that point, about a year later, I was partnered with Sam in some ways, working with a group of people, and we saw the results with some children in Romania that Sam was serving with an orphanage, and that were very malnourished and were losing multiple children every year, literally dying from malnourished-related issues. And so we all know the difference between a feeding and a nourishment. And so here, Sam, bringing this technology to market, offered to give it to this orphanage, for the first year. And after 1 year, the caretaker came back and said, this is the most astounding thing we've ever seen. Not only did very few of our children get sick this year, but we didn't lose one child. And that's where we began Manor Leaf Ministries, and what we're doing here right now is to serve children. We're in over 96 orphanages. We've encompassed about 80 countries now. We've partnered with the previous administration of Mexico, President Vicente Fox and his wife Marta. We have also partnered with dignitaries in Uganda, presidents and such as Edith Mbalas, and the ambassador to the United States. So we've worked at all levels, even the fastest man in history who can take claim for breaking his own record when he began to utilize this technology, and that's with U.S. Track and Field, many, many years ago. So, there's a long, as I say, not years, but a track record of this technology. It is referred to as a disruptive technology because when you stop a minute and think about what this means, and when we move on here after the birth of Man Relief and everything and all that, and our story began to get better. We can tell that later, but what I found was it was true. And I know in the book of John, third book, as a matter of fact, it says in verse 2 that we should embrace the truth. It says that we shouldn't be in health even as our soul prospers. But it also goes on in verse 4, it says we embrace the truth. And that's what I saw here. And when I dug into cellular communication and began to research this, I found that first of all, there's been over 7 Nobel Prizes in medicine and physiology awarded for even alluding to what I'm talking about. And the first in October of '99 with a German researcher. Excuse me, my wife's Christmas clock is going off. But this researcher, and all of this stuff that was going on at the time that they began to look into, but in verse 8 it said, that they want to, we should become fellow helpers of that truth. Boy, it almost derailed me with that clock. Sorry.
No worries.
I'll tell Judy.
No worries.
But, the Nobel Prizes, let me get back to that, and subsequently in a row. The first one was awarded for an address or a zip code of molecules and how the body built structures that allowed it to function and communicate. And that's how the body healed itself. And we all know the body heals itself, and all of our great, medical professionals that are working in this direction, should I say, like Dr. Landon, et cetera, are understanding you got to look at how the body functions and how to support that. And so they begin to peel back layers on this, but the Nobel Prizes didn't identify those molecules. And so as we begin to look into this and do research, in 96, it was now published in the Physician's Desk Reference in the beginning stages, as well as in Harper's Biochemistry, a medical journal. And working directly with that medical professional for a few years, it identified those molecules as, again, those simple monosaccharides. This is the aha moment when we talk about truth, when we connect it to what God is telling us when we're praying and answered for answers, is that these particular molecules that they found, the 8 in particular, also the 8 that are found in the molecular chain called ace-mannan, which is the name given to that acetylated beta-1 4-mannan molecule, the majority of which is called mannose in the human body. Mannose, incidentally, for all you want to think, is actually found in 2 places on the face of the earth. One in this molecular chain, discovered in aloe vera. The other one is very uniquely found in mother's breast milk. And when you think of the perfect food that God could deliver to a baby, it would be this key ingredient called mannose. And a woman starts producing it at high rates. It is pumped through the umbilical cord, we now know, for the production of the fetus and through the expression of all genetic activity. And I'm trying to not talk too fast. I get excited. But this discovery today being looked at as the final frontier in medicine is a discovery in how the body functions. Now, after the gestational period, at birth, it's reversed through the mammary glands. It comes out as the perfect food in in mother's breast milk. Now, the first plug that comes out is called colostrum and pre-milk colostrum. And colostrum overall is found within the substance, but the first plug is the most valuable. But from there flows the milk, and the solids we're talking about in the milk is, of course, these particular factors we're talking about here, and that is built out of mannose. And incidentally, a woman seems to go in remission with autoimmune scenarios and certain degenerative disorders, I've discovered, when they get pregnant, simply because their body is producing high levels of this. So there's a little validation. Now, we could move on, and I could bury you with science on this. But, that's where it sort of was beginning, and those Nobel Prizes got my attention. On page 12, the science behind Aloe, which is an expose of over 100 analysis and peer-reviewed studies of this technology. The Science Behind Aloe is the title of that book. It can be found through manarelief.org. And you can go to that ministry and find that possibly. I think they still have it available, but it's available also maybe on Amazon and other places. It's a very well-noted, small, short to the point, but with 18 chapters that will certainly have you thinking about the rest of this story. So from there, we can talk about all the science, beginning with 2001, the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, 2001, Technology Review said the study of what I'm talking about was considered one of the top 10 technologies that would change the world that we live in. Another one, by the way, of those top 10 was nanotechnology, and we integrate that into some of the compounds and stuff that are produced by the lab we work with. But from there, we look at, really exactly how all this begins to fit together. And so we look at, all of this, from being able to position it, and we think of, the discovery that was made here and all of that. But, the real understanding of what science was doing behind the back. By 2001, the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences, January 22nd, 2002, as a matter of fact, 20 years ago, actually said that altering some of these factors at the cell level would inhibit tumor growth and block the intake of sugar into a tumor, a cancer cell, malignant in particular. So when you think of this stuff, you think, really? And so for 16 years in research, we've looked at how to make therapeutic agents, only to discover in 2018, now published, that this technology can only be ingested orally. As I heard one professional that I think at some point could win a Nobel Prize for putting this together over 25, 35 years ago now, one of those researchers. But I do know that that right there is really, made all of that impact here. So, and all of that has come to a head here today. So, there's just so much to really talk about all of this and the discovery behind it and the science behind it and things of that nature. But he used to say, swallow it, it works. And so that's, getting more up to date. But I mean, the science kept going. In 2001, the American Association for the Advancement of Science, volume 291, issued, the entire journal was devoted to what I'm talking about, with articles such as saving lives with sugar. Again, not table sugars like you think that are bad for us, but the basis of human physiology is something called glycans today. It's now published in the Library of Congress. It is now known as, this is what I said, the basis of human physiology. The difference in blood type between A, B, A, positive, negative, and O, and all that. The whole difference is one of these factors at the end of a molecular chain, and we can detect that in blood work. So, we can tell if you are transfusion, compatible just by looking at the difference in one of these compounds at the end of your blood type. So, it's just that big of an eye-opener here. And for years, it was almost rejected. Why? Because it was sugar. Then it was almost and ridiculed. I mean, and all of that. It's just no way. But from there, it's now becoming overwhelmingly accepted. And so all of that is in truth. It's all there, and I can continue about the studies. But I know this: in 2005 and 2007, it began to sort of come off the shelf and go into heavy research. And all of that was brought to a head in 2012, entitled Glycoscience, A Roadmap to the Future, a 200-page article that can be, made available to key professionals through certain sources such as Medline, PubMed, and also the National Academies Press, You can also find it there, Library of Congress. So, it's just amazing when you peel back the layers. You think, well, why didn't my doctor know about this? Well, let me be blunt, because it's filtered through science. It comes through big pharma, and the doctor, of course, is allowed to follow standard of care. And we find that you step outside that, you could be sued for malpractice, certainly could lose our license. And even when you think of the years spent, the things, to realize what this could mean, again, a disruptive technology. So, that's where it's at, and that's where science now knows. And so it's worked its way through the ages. Let me get back to this ministry and what we're doing here and how you can be a part of this. And because, this is out there. It's been there for quite a while. It's floating out there in what I call substandard levels. You hear aloe on the shelf and things like that, but it doesn't have this active compound. And the reality is, if you're looking for it, you're going to find it in some very key places, and it's not cheap. In fact, the first formula was over $150 to get started, for an average person per month. And it's the best that we had back then. Now, through research and stuff done with a lot of science and out of Korea, as a matter of fact, it has determined which fractions do the best work at supporting and activating macrophage, your key defense, and your adaptive immune, at supporting the processing and cellular function, which is the second stage known as glycosylation. That's the building of these structures. Dr. Lana referred to structures and allow and disallow, and that's all carried out. Even the hormonal regulation, all that she referred to, is all recognized through cellular communication. And the building of these structures, and what we now know, is built through these factors known in acemannan, and all of that comes through your body's ability to build these structures. And that process has been known for years. And if you're missing a few of these factors, it's possible to get them from your diet. And that's what's, a big important point I want to say here, is simply because your body is required to have this. No, I didn't say if you don't take this product, you're not going to do well. I'm just saying that your body either makes it produces it through certain factors from your food compounds that must be live, the way they're designed with certain cofactors, as well as, biomarkers the body can recognize as live food. And so it must be consumed on a regular basis. And that's the way your body, has been doing that for years. And it's very efficient, but that's a backup plan. And so we have found by adding the acemannan in its entirety, all of a sudden it's like the light switches come on. It's able to get information to the endocrine system for its regulation process, and the endocrine system working overtime trying to do everything, and we're low on this and high on that, and that's all an out of balance form of communication. And so now we know through science what this actually does to support human physiology. And even the doctors are saying, and immunologists that we've seen and work with directly, and including one particular high-level medical professional, I probably shouldn't mention her name at this point, who's involved with Dream for the Cure for cancer, in particular brain cancer research, doing immunotherapy research at all of the Mayo clinics, using this particular compound, a food compound, as an integrative approach, simply because there's nothing else, and let me be specific, that they have found but our bottle of Immun, taken on a regular basis, will support the activity of a healthy functioning immune system. And so obviously if you don't have a healthy functioning immune system, and all the zinc and the vitamin C and things of this nature in the world can be beneficial, but they're not going to support the activation of the key factor known as macrophage, your front line of defense. That's a Greek word for big eater. So the bottom line is, when you consume this on a regular basis for a moderate amount, just what the label says, for an average person that's healthy, it's more than enough. I mean, it's quite adequate, and it's to be consumed on a regular basis. If you're thinking, why doesn't my body do this already? You said it makes it. Well, we don't live in the environment today that we used to. Since 96, they were talking about the advent of chemicals and things that were introduced into our environment. And I can promise you this, for the most part, over 80,000 chemicals that weren't even produced before 1980 that have come into our environment, and not to mention Roundups, etc., the glyphins. So when you think about that, it's interrupting the body's ability to function. And this body is a biologically active, electrostatically charged machine. And it has to have certain structure to allow for certain function. The function of communication, defense, regulation, nutrition, and digestion,
Cookie?
along with good hydration and good exercise. And as I say, number 8, always, and don't forget to breathe. That one we hopefully don't have to worry about. So, but it all starts with cellular communication. So thank you for the time here today. Manor Relief Ministries evolved into Aloe. Aloe is a social business platform. We're not a network marketing company. We're not a multi-level marketing deal or something like that. We are a social business platform that is actually incorporated as a public benefits corporation, which allows us to sell a product for profit and use those profits directly to serve children. So if you buy a single bottle of Immune, you're going to serve one child per month. That's about $74 plus tax and shipping on the average. You buy in volume, it gets cheaper. We are not allowed by federal trade law to sell you cheaper if you become a member or an affiliate or anything like that. By federal trade laws of 2017, what a customer pays is the same price we all pay. However, a customer can reward you on top of that, depending on how you share it. We offer a free product if you share it as a customer, and we offer you a very healthy check if you operate as an affiliate. So that's kind of how we operate. But every product, one for one, serves a child. So thank you very much. And Aloe Immune, if you want any other information, go to info@franksaloe.com, info@franksaloe. You can also go directly to ktfa.myaloevea.com and click shop. Or if you choose to join our movement, then of course let us know that. We have people join hundreds and hundreds to even more at a time. It's just been amazing. So I'll keep rambling. You know me, Frank, but I'll promise you this. You're a blessing to us, because just by sharing a little bit of this and the impact with the lives of a few people that have already begun, as well as the ones coming every day from you, you're touching the lives of children literally around the world. Today we've served over 44 million servings of this technology. I will tell you this. United Way cannot make that claim. And I'm talking about whole food nutrition, not food. And there's a big difference. So we send it in bags and they integrate it to the children, and we buy it in a bottle and swallow it every day. So as I always say, drink lots of water, take your Immune, and don't forget to breathe. So Frank, I'll turn this back over to you, sir. You'll be hanging up on me. So thank you.
No, I'm very proud of you. This product is amazing. Family, stop and think about it. The first product that we brought to you is, the Zenith. That's going to help you to lose fat. Yeah, by losing fat, you avoid a lot of secondary illnesses, diseases, malfunctions of the body, physiologically and anatomically. The product that we brought you in the first hour is literally associated with this one, because this product says if you went too far and you became diabetic, we can help you. The aloe plant, the company discovered the compound, the molecule that triggers the body to do what it's supposed to do. And the guarantee as well with the product, you can't go wrong with this. And there's been a lot of people. Hey, Jeff, I don't want to exaggerate, but would you say maybe like over 200 people are being helped right now?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. And if you don't mind me stepping back,
No,
I was just
go right ahead.
cautious, because I know if I get to rambling and an hour later, people are going to sleep. The mind can adhere to what the seat can endure. So I'm just watching the time, sir. But, you mentioned diabetes, et cetera, and I have a good friend of mine, of course, introduced me, Aaron Brown, and we got connected simply because I think he was crying and praying and spoke to me, and through a series of events, we talked, and the rest, I think, is history. But, I just want somebody, and I'm going to preempt that by just saying this. When you look at cellular communication, they think, well, how's it fix this and how's it fix that? It doesn't fix anything. It supports everything.
Well, that's good.
Whether you drop a brick on your toe or you got something growing between your brain. How does your body know that? I will tell you this. In degenerative disorders, when cells are not regenerating correctly, well, that's a problem. And the macrophage is designed to recognize that and hold on to it, send out communicative signals for the productions of interferons and necrosing factors to kill off. Necrosing means die, to kill off those factors. So it keeps our body working, and we have cells that don't do perfect every day, and they regenerate out of control, or toxicity, etc. But, bacteria and virus can damage things, fungi. But when they don't regenerate, such as in your lymph glands, that's called lymphoma. If it's in your, whatever your skin gets into the blood, it could be a melanoma, it could be in the brain and be a, glioblastoma, it could be a, something in the bones, could be a, something of that nature. But it all has a name, and it's based on where it is. And just like a cell losing its identity, and do a biopsy and we discover, it's got all kinds of things in it, but, bone and hair and things. And what we've realized, it's lost its identity. It was communicating incorrectly. It's gone out of control. And so that's what we're finding in the basis of degenerative disorders, as well as that's why adjusting them at the cell level through therapeutic agents has been attempted, but it doesn't work. So through this way, it begins to support that. And that's why we see that such an impact in immunotherapy research. From there, we look at autoimmune. And it's really the body working correctly in some ways. You pick up a pathogen, such as a virus or something that attacks the pancreas, and your body goes to work in the adaptive immune system, and really the overproduction of the antibody, simply because the immune system doesn't shut down, begins to damage something referred to as the islets of Langerhans, and that's your insulin producing side. And so it destroys that. And in fact, the suppressor cells are designed to identify that, and through communicative signals shut the system down so it functions properly. We haven't been able to get to do that. We can't do that with drugs. And so we're finding that through supporting this structure, it allows for those suppressor cells to respond, and it stops attacking. Just like the identity that attacks the myelin sheath, creating the basis for multiple sclerosis, is they're finding that you've got to get the body to stop that. And rheumatoid issues that are throughout the body is all because the body is out of control there. And there was about 80 in the mid-90s. Now we see over 200 autoimmune. But psychotropic issues, I can keep going on, but if the body doesn't recognize it and able to facilitate proper function to deal with it, you can take all the zinc, you can take all the vitamin C, you can take all the antioxidants. I heard it said that glutathione gets weak and it gets less over age. I get that, but the reality is, even the American Longevity Institute has proven that one of the biomarkers is that, and the less production, like osteoporotic and losing bone densities and things. It's a biomarker over aging. But what they're finding is by supporting this factor, the body begins to go back to functioning, and it's able to facilitate that action. All of a sudden, the
right away.
I could ramble on or not. Aaron's with me. If he's got a couple of minutes, maybe he can just leave you all with what this meant to him.
Hey,
are you with me?
Aaron, are you there?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, hold on, Aaron. Before you tell us yours, family sugar, high levels of sugar is like it's like acid on your body. Acid is only going to destroy whatever it is, that it's touching. And sugar, high levels of sugar, it eats away at your body. It eats away at you. I know people that have lost their toes, their fingers. My dear brother Aaron lost his vision. Tink.
Yes.
We went to the doctor and I did my immunotherapy last week, right?
Yes.
And every time I go, they take blood from my port and they give me my whole blood report, right?
Yes, every 2 weeks you get a blood workup, and then I get the results, and I'm the one who keeps track of them. So 2 weeks ago when we went, your glucose level was 102.
102?
The highest it should be is 99,
I know.
according to their chart.
I know.
So this week when we went back, your glucose level was 80.
80?
And the only thing you've been doing different is taking the Immune twice a day.
Yeah.
2 capsules and then 2 capsules.
That's all I've been doing different.
Yep.
I'm still eating my 2 cookies a day. 2 dozen. No. But Aaron, tell us your story from your heart. What happened to you?
I will do that, Frank. Family, this is over. When I first heard about this, it was a dear friend of mine named Dorothy. 8 years I've known her, and she told me about this product, and I said, you know what? I said, my wife and I have spent nearly $300,000 in the last 34 years since I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, and nothing has addressed my diabetic condition. I ended up going on dialysis for 44 months. 3 weeks into that, I lost my sight. In 2017, I lost my gallbladder due to this. My circulation is horrendous. All my blood numbers are just out of sight, bad. And I said, nothing's worked, but I went ahead and, all right, go ahead and send me a bottle. And then she connected me with Jeff Allen, the gentleman who you just heard speaking, and he shared his story with his wife. And I told him, I don't have any money. I can't afford this right now. And he so graciously, without telling me, sent me a box of 4 bottles of this and told me basically what he and his wife were taking. So I said, I'm going to try this. And in my case, and again, this is not an instant gratification product. As I said, this is something you need in you regularly. I will be taking this for the rest of my life, regardless of what my numbers are.
Me too.
So my numbers started going, and I was in the 200s and 300s for years, and that's why I had all this damage done in my body. And that's with insulin. I started taking insulin in 2010 when I had a kidney transplant. And then I had to take all kind of pharmaceutical drugs for anti-rejection for the kidney. And my numbers in 22 of the first 35 days I was on this product were between 85 and 99. I mean, it was totally, I couldn't believe it. Never in 34 years have I seen that. My wife changed the batteries on the little meter several times, thinking this is a joke. How is this happening? Also, brain fog. Okay, I played hockey for a great part of my life, and I've suffered double-digit concussions. So that, along with high blood sugar, high blood pressure, I was having all kinds of brain fog. And almost immediately, again, I was very blessed and very fortunate that my body responded to this right off the bat. That I don't think is the norm when you had something as severe as I've had. But my brain fog totally went away, 100% mental clarity right off the bat. I have not had any neuropathy problems at all since I started this product on August the 8th of this year. I had a physical done 35 days later, September, with my kidney specialist, my nephrologist. In the office, my blood pressure, 117/76. I mean, those numbers are just unheard of for me. He didn't say much. He just wrote it down and told me, it's very good. You're doing good. Called me the next day with all my blood results and could not believe what they were. Didn't believe them. He called up UCLA, where I had my transplant done 12 years ago, told him he wants me to completely be retested, which I was on October 5th. And all my numbers are not only great, but they actually improved from another 3 weeks on the product. My LDL cholesterol, my bad cholesterol, in June was 145. In September, after 35 days on this product, was 85. Do you guys realize what that is? What the difference in that number from being really high and what damage that can do to being, actually low normal? My inflammation, which we all know is a cause for many, many evils in the body. Bob from Boomers, I believe he's mentioned 0.5 or less is what your inflammation should be. My lowest was a 4.9. And when I took this product 35 days later, had my physical 2.3 from 4.9 in barely over a month. I mean, every marker in my system, in my blood work, reversed in my favor. My A1C from, numbers that were in 8s, 9s, high 7s for most of my life, 6.8, first time ever in the 6s in 34 years of having this disease. And incredible. This has been mind-blowing. My insulin use, I've cut down in half. I've now been on the product as of a week from tomorrow, will be 4 months. I've also reduced my anti-rejection medication, which is unheard of. The doctors think I'm totally nuts. I'm not telling anyone to do that. Tell me what I did. And my numbers on my kidney functions are right spot on.
Amen.
So I'm putting that much less poison in my body. And one last thing, and this has happened since our last YouTube earlier this month. 2 days after our last YouTube, I went to my dermatologist. I go every 3 months because I've had 3 serious bouts of skin cancer on my nose from side effects of some of the medications I have to take for my kidneys. And I get all these things on my arms. I'm forgetting the word. I think they call them crusties. Not a real nice word, but almost like a scab type thing on my arms. And they burn them off right there in the office. I've been going there for 12 years. My doctor said, wow, your skin looks great. It's the best I've seen your skin look. By the end of the examination, he said, you know what? This is the first time you've been here in 12 years. You don't have a single crusty. We don't have to burn anything off. And I didn't put that together. And I said, wait a minute. I said, I'm taking this product from aloe leaf. She goes, duh, aloe skin, kind of works that way. So she wanted the information on this product from that. I mean, this has just been outstanding. And one last thing I want to share, and this is for those people who have already joined and started taking this product, and for those listening tonight and will take it. Do not keep this a secret. Share this with every single human being you know. Next to sharing the gospel, this is 1A. Because the lives that you can affect and give people more than an existence, which I'm only 64 years old. And the last 16 years, I would say I've been existing. It has not been a lot of fun. And now I feel like I'm getting my life back. I have a long way to go. I have a lot of health issues. But this has been a tremendous surge in hope in correcting a lot of things that the diabetic condition has caused in my body. And God willing, it will halt it and even be able to reverse it.
Amen.
That is my, if that's God's will, that's what will happen. But don't keep this a secret. Share this with people. And the win-win about this all is that, as Jeff mentioned, every bottle of this that you buy on the small size and on the large size is 2 children on the large size. You're feeding this molecule, a month for 2 different children, each and every bottle you buy. Kids that are in orphanages all around the world that are malnourished and have all kind of immune system problems. Man, is that a win-win or what? And lastly, now I haven't seen this because I'm blind, but there's something I was told on something we'll send out to those who sign up. There's no charge to it. It is a documentary, and all I'll say is they show the molecule under, I don't know if it's a microscope or some medical device. They show it. This molecule, it is in the shape of a cross. Now, tell me God doesn't have his stamp all over this. And that is all I have to say. But one last thing, as Jeff would say, I learned a lot tonight. Man, a lot of it was difficult to understand. I didn't understand any of this when I was taking this product. Now I'm starting to really understand it, the science behind it, and what differentiates this from anything else out there. This is a stand-alone and an essential. But you know what? You don't have to know any of it. You don't have to know any of it. As Jeff mentioned, one of the doctors said, just swallow it. And that's what I've been doing. And with that, I say blessings to all of you, and back to you, Frank.
Thank you. Beautiful testimony. I gave my testimony. It is extremely important that my sugar level stays, where it should. I cannot afford to feed any micro cancer cells that are still in my body. That's why they're giving me immune therapy to get rid of any of that. I'm very, very grateful for this product, family. You understand what it does, right? You understand what it does. It's going to help you with your sugar levels. It's going to help you with your overall body condition, because high sugar levels destroy the body. If you can control those high sugar levels, if you can be in the range you're supposed to, your body will function properly, normally, and you will be able to tell the difference right away. This is a wonderful product. And there is one question. By the way, before we present the question that someone has, Jeff, are you there?
Yes, sir, I am.
I was talking with Aaron today, and Aaron, I know that you're listening. I do this with all of my businesses that I'm involved with. This is a binary structure. You have to have two legs, family. And we have Aaron who signed me up. He has a good, strong leg. Me, my wife, and I. But he needs the other leg. So, Jeff, I do this with all my other businesses. I want you to take, I think he needs 3 people, maybe 4 people. I want you to take the next people that I want to sign up underneath me and give them to Aaron. It is my gift to him for bringing this product to us. I want him to be able to qualify for the bonus checks, for the products, uh, build his second leg through us. And when you're done, let me know, okay?
Absolutely, Frank.
Good,
Frank, let me step in there a minute.
Yes, sir.
First of all, Aaron deserves all the blessing
Yes.
for the blessings he's offered to so many people, which
Yes.
are things that we're given to bless others with. And
Yes.
we call it that gift, and he referred to that.
There's enough for
You know,
everyone. There's enough for everyone.
You mentioned
Yes.
about there. As we operate under federal trade law, there's many laws we stay with. Number one is, of course, active participation. It's not where you just put something in something and get it back. From there, you look at a binary, but we're really not. The law says we must have a division of business for 2 or more people to come.
Okay.
I think where 2 or 3 are gathered, something more is there with us. So that's our structure and function, and it gets bigger than that. So thank you for bringing that up. Bless you, Aaron.
Yes, indeed. He's blessed us. There's plenty for everybody. We are blessed at KTFA to have a lot of people, and I want Aaron to be able to qualify now for his levels. Well, gentlemen, I can't think of anything else except to say that I'm very proud of you. If any last things you want to say there, Jeff?
Gosh, don't get me started again, Frank, but just thank you. May God
funny.
bless you, and to all of you that are listening. Have an incredible Merry Christmas. That's where the real gift began.
Yeah.
And all this illusion of a tree and the star on top is just the truth that was born on that day. And the reality is it took becoming flesh for us all to see what that word meant to all of us. And let's celebrate that day and know that that star is the star in the east that the wise men saw. Now, what was the wise men? Those that were considered prophets, those that knew what they had heard. They knew what was written, and they waited for a sign. And that sign on that day was a star, and they found that for that child.
Amen.
So from there, I consider this that star, the gift that we've received to functionally, and I call it a physical mission of salvation, that we can impart to others to bring that salvation in many ways to them. And to ask the glory be given to God, not us because of the product, not any other claim, but to know that this is something that was born in you and is here for all of us. And celebrate your day, celebrate your holidays, and may God bless all y'all.
Yes.
Indeed.
Indeed. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Aaron. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you both.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Dr. Lana. And thank you, family, for being with us to listen, because this was valuable information. Did you notice that somebody came in and they said, what? Where's the Iraqi information? This information that we gave is a whole lot more valuable, isn't it? Yes, it is. There is no price for good health. Trust me, I know. Take care, gentlemen. And take care, Dr. Lana. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we now walk into the second part of our UB2B for tonight, and that would be, of course, the study of the Iraqi dinar. What I want to say to you is that you know that on Mondays, we trifurcate our study. Usually, we start out with the articles. We spend a lot of time looking at those articles. We analyze them, don't we? And we give you our thoughts up on top in my blue writing, and then we color the whole article and highlight what we think is important for you to read. The colors also show you what is superior. If something is red, you need to read it. If something is pink, yeah, let's check that out, and so forth and so forth. Um, I want to thank and I want to welcome our new staff. Thank you. Family, as you know, we no longer have Samson. So what I did is that I got a hold of someone from Scotland. And then I got a hold of somebody from Hawaii. Now that's far east and that's far west. You will literally get the articles as you wake up like you've always got them. And you will literally see them as you're going to sleep before the sun rises on the other side of the world. We have now an advantage with our articles. Do you understand what I'm trying to tell you? Good. And you can see these articles for free inside of our form. Our form is ktfalways.com. ktfalways.com. Keep the faith always. Not in me. I'll let you down. But in God. He'll never let you down. So, what we are going to be doing is on Mondays, I will decide of those three things what I want to share with you. I will probably pick one of the three, maybe two of the three, but I will no longer do three. We have our articles in our form that's free for everybody. Some sites charge you to read articles. We don't. We do have premium inside of our form, which is $10. $10 a month. And it's worth it. Because starting next week, I will invite Walking Stick to come into premium at KTFA and talk to us. Talk to you if you want. Maybe for about 10-15 minutes at a time. Our strength is not what it used to be. So, if you want to be a member of our forum, go to ktfalways.com and sign up. It's free. If you can't afford premium, the $10, call me. I'll give it to you. We give it to hundreds, don't we, Tank?
Yep.
Many people call us and ask us, can we please have a free month? You bet, of course. We give you more than one free month. There's plenty for everyone. You see, I charge because this is my living. I'm not trying to fill my pockets. I'm not trying to be a millionaire. I'm trying to pay my bills. You know my story. Way back in 2008, I was asked on December the 1st to lead a forum, and I did. KTFM was born. And 1 year later, I left the family restaurant. Yeah, our restaurant, let me see. This April, it will be 55 years. We're the oldest Mexican restaurant in the city of Toledo, probably in the state of Ohio. 55 years. And we've never had a liquor license. Never. What's that tell you? It's got to be the food. They don't come to see me. Well, no, I'm not there anymore. But that's why I charge $10. I dedicated myself to you. But if you can't afford the $10, I'll give it to you. God takes care of us. God takes good care of my wife and I. What man takes away from us, God just doubles. when one falls out from KTFA, there's like about 10 more to replace that one person. Anyways, I would advise you to go to ktfalways.com and be a member. It's free. And if you want premium, go ahead. Because I'm going to start bringing Walking Stick into premium. And I'm going to start taking away from Monday's UB2Bs and put it solely inside of premium. I don't know what. Like I said, of the 3 things that I give you free every Monday, I will select 1 or 2 and give it to you. And the other one I will put in premium. Or of the 3 I give you, maybe I'll select 1 and I'll put the 2 in premium. It'll be my prerogative. For example, tonight, as you know, Walking Stick's friend was talking to him the last, counting today is 3, but for sure just the last 2 days. He stayed with Walking Stick. And by the way, everything that I'm about to share with you is just in my opinion. Ain't that right? It's just strictly in my opinion. We're okay, Brian. We've been there 55 years. I thank you. I'll pay $10, get premium, the full package. Okay, Ron, that's good. Come on and join us. Alrighty, family. Tonight, Walking Stick had some conversations. A lot of them. Because a lot of things are busted open like piñatas, just being busted wide open. Yeah. Now, for those of you that don't know, let me update you. Our team comprises of 5 different groups. And one of them is Walking Stick's firm. I think it's been around almost 30 years in Iraq. I think it's like tool and die stuff. They cast, things. And the firm has over somewhere between 500 to 600 employees. And he was invested in it. When he got cancer, he was bought out. He was bought out, but they still communicate with him. And the interesting thing is that the firm, they own 6 banks. Members that are owners of the firm. 2 of those members own 6 banks. One owns 4 banks, the other owns 2 banks. 1 of 4 banks are in Jordan and 2 banks are in Baghdad. So, when the CBI wants to make a move, especially in the monetary reform education, they get a hold of them. They get a hold of all their banks. We're having a meeting. Come here. Or, we're having a meeting. Here's your files. Now, as you know, so now you're updated. Okay. And as you know, last month what he did, as you know, the bank that we told you about, that he represents, as you know, he thought he was going to go see soccer when they told him, come on over, we're going to go watch football. He said, score! No, American football. He had no idea what that was. And it was Monday and Tuesday that he came over, Mr. So-and-so, Mr. Bank owner, that has a private satellite bank in the United States. And he sat down with Walking Stick and he started to tell him the articles that we gave you on Article 140. They are now activated. You know this, right? And he says, yes, we just found out today, which was yesterday. So he said everything that we were talking about that's in my satchel is still a go. But this 140 has busted everything open. Name something. And Walking Stick did. And the guy says, yeah, it'll be disclosed. The budget, yeah, it'll be opened. The exchange rate, Yeah, we've calculated it. I mean, it just went on and on and on and on. Now, what we want to share with you is that, family, we have said at KTFA for years, especially you old timers. Thanks, Alex. Especially you old timers. Do you recall me saying, the day that we see the HCl, bada bing, bada boom, we got our exchange rate. And by the way, I want to introduce you to a new words. You're not going to hear me say new exchange rate anymore. You with me? Good. You're going to hear me say the exchange rate. Do you understand? Good. For years, family, KTFA has always said that once you see Article 140, once you see the HCl, the next thing that you will see will be the exchange rate. Right? Actually, back then we were saying the new exchange rate. There's a difference between the new exchange rate that we were talking about in the past and the exchange rate now. Good. We've seen Article 140, family. HCl is busting open the budget. With your permission, allow me to put these glasses on so that I can read my notes better. This idea, this concept that as soon as we saw Article 140 in the HCl, it's been an argument for years. Do you recall it, family? Does anybody recall it? Is anybody even paying attention? It's been an argument for a long time, and I feel very safe. I feel very safe supporting that argument. Because, in my opinion, Article 140 open the HCl. Well, actually, it activates it. And that activation alone is what's going to bust open the budget. And in the budget, we will see the birth of Article 8 through the reforms. And that Article 8 leads us to Forex. It leads us to Forex, international investments of the Iraqi dinar, not its goods, not its services, not its oil, of its currency. Which would then lead to a float. And a depegging from the American dollar, which everybody else has already done. Remember I told you on Monday, name me a currency on this planet Earth that is pegged to the American dollar. Many countries use the American dollar, but they're not pegged to it anymore. Why? Iraqi dinar. Are you going to stay pegged to the American dollar? No! No. Then the sequence that I see here of you having Article 1.4 activated gives you HCl, which gives us Article 8, which leads to the Forex of international trade, because that would be the float for the Iraqi dinar until you capped it, right? Yeah. Yeah. Preach one, teach one, that's all right. Is that what that says? Hi, Matthew Waters. How are you, my brother? And he says, I remember. I remember when you said that. Yep. Uh-huh. Yep. Family, the HCl was agreed upon a long time ago, to be honest with you, because indirectly it's Article 140 that was agreed upon a long time ago. And this is going to trigger the exchange rate. First time I use it. And this is going to trigger the exchange rate in the budget with the reforms. By the way, if you feel in your heart that you wish to help us with a financial contribution, I appreciate it. This is how I make my living. And my wife and I, We help a lot of people because a lot of people have helped us. You can find the little tabs down at the bottom, way down at the bottom, under chat. If you feel in your heart that you wish to help us with a financial contribution, if you can afford it, I appreciate it and I thank you. The HCL, the Article 140. Remember I told you? I kept telling you for years, leave the HCL alone. Once you see we get Article 140, once you see the HCL, boom, you got it, okay? But leave it alone. Wow, who's that, Jan?
Somebody from Nepal.
Puskar? Puskar, greetings. You must be with Pastor Amos or Pastor Yashu. Welcome. That would be a man, I think, that name. Welcome, our dear brother, to your KTFA family. Welcome, welcome. Wow, that is such a yes. He says yes. Well, then you're probably in one of the churches that KTFA has built. We built 3 churches up there with God's help. Wow, I'm so happy to see you with us. Welcome, welcome, dear brother. So, Article 140, HCL, Article 8, Forex, float, cap it. Yeah, this is good. And Walking Stick's friends said that you're going to see all these. Mike Fuller, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for your financial contribution. Humbled and grateful. And Walking Stick's friend told him that that 140 is just going to open everything. And I just told you the sequence of events that would open 140, HCL, Article 8, Forex, float. Ta-da! Now, another subject that was brought up was about the 20K. What do you say, CVI? You came out last month saying you were going to introduce a 20K. We haven't heard anything since then. What's up with that? So Walking Stick asks his friend, T-Ball, there's his twin. Thank you, T-Ball, for your financial contribution. God bless you. So Walking Stick asks his bank friend, have you heard anything about the 20K notes? And his bank friend says, yes, they were assigned to us last month, but there was never a firm commitment on the release of the 20K notes for us. So far, all the banks in Iraq, we still have no further update concerning the 20K. They mentioned them last month to us to prepare for it. All the private banks and the CBI are meeting right now on many subjects, not just the 20K, not just Article 140, but on many subjects. For example, Walking Stick, the number one thing that we are discussing right now in the meetings, and by the way, he does his by, it's not Zoom. I don't know what you call it. It's something else. And some satellite connection, probably Satcom 1 or something. And he says, we're meeting. The CBI meets with us on a daily basis. The number one thing that we're dealing with is the money laundering. Most of this has been dealt with. The U.S. Treasury has left us and said that they are very happy and proud of what we have done in controlling our CBI auctions and our currency. Also, Mr. Walking Stick, at these meetings, we are constantly talking about the new small category notes, where to store them, how to issue them, that's the only time you'll hear me say new. New small category notes, because they are. The exchange rate is not new. It's been going on for quite a while. We are talking about money laundering, the number one issue. We're dealing with the new small category notes, et cetera, et cetera. And we are also in conversation about the exchange rate that we are about to release. Also, we have our CBI governor that is doing speeches. We see them before he gives them to the citizens. Also, we are dealing with all banks with we're dealing with all the banks that are off of the money laundering list. If they are compliant with that, then they are going to be a part of what we're going to do in the future. Also, we meet with the CBI to talk about the international float. Also, we meet with the CBI to talk about the ATM machines. Also, we talk about Oh, and we also talk about denomination information. That's under the new small category notes. We also are talking at these meetings about the currency exchange process. Isn't that great? Did I tell you that everything that I'm saying is in my opinion? Did I say that? Yeah. In my opinion, this is my opinion. We also are talking an awful lot on the subject about the currency exchangers, the process on how it's going to happen, who we are going to allow, because many of the money exchangers are not legit. You think? Oh my gosh! And we're also talking. Did I tell you all the things already? Here, real quick. We're talking about the number one thing is about money laundering. The U.S. Treasury is so happy. We're talking about the new small category notes. We're talking about an exchange rate that is about to come out. We're talking about all the banks that are no longer on the black list of laundering money. We're talking about the international flow. We're talking about the ATMs, machines, and some things about them. We're talking about the denomination information. We're talking about the currency exchangers that are legit. We're talking about the bank services that we're going to offer the citizens of Iraq. Mainly right now, we're concentrating on the Visa and MasterCards. We're talking about the governor's speeches that he's giving to the citizens. You see, Mr. Walking Stick, it is no secret. I'm doing it. I'm sorry. Hold on a second. You see, Mr. Walking Stick, it is no secret. It is no secret to any Iraqi citizen, because any Iraqi citizen can walk into our banks right now. And when they come in, check this out. Okay? Okay. And when they come in, you should call the other gurus. They need to hear this. I'm a bad boy. I should look ashamed. That's enough. Okay. Um, you see, Mr. Walking Stick? Me, Walking Stick? You see, Mr. Walking Stick? It's no secret to any Iraqi citizen at all. Any Iraqi citizen can come into our banks in Iraq or when we open our private banks, and they will be able to see the training of the tellers. Ain't that right, Eddie? We've had the advantage for a long time, Eddie, because of you and Walking Stick. And I'm proud of you. Out of the ashes and into the fire? No, thank you kindly for your financial contribution. I'm humbled. I'm grateful. And there are many people that are praying. And their prayers are being answered. So, that's important. Let me reread that because this is important, this part. The man tells Walking Stick, you see, Mr. Walking Stick, it is no secret to any Iraqi citizen anymore. Any Iraqi citizen can walk into our banks in Iraq or in the private banks when we open them, and they will be able to see the training of the tellers. It is no secret what they are doing and what they are telling the citizens when they come in. The articles don't tell you. You think the media is going to tell you the truth? When they come in, it is no secret to them. And another thing, Mr. Walking Stick, when they come into the bank, they see the new counting machines that are used, they see the new counting, sorting machines that we have on our counters. They know that these are not for the dinar that they're using right now. It is for a currency that is new. Nor are the oh, also when they come in, they know this is really significant. Also, Mr. Walking Stick, they know about the monetary reform because when they walk into our banks and they see these machines, the counting machines, but now when they see the new ATM machines, they know, excuse me, the new ATM machines, uh, they know that those machines are still offline. They know that the ATM machines inside of our banks and outside in the streets, they are still offline. They know this is for them. So it's no secret. No, thank you very much. It is no secret, is it? You don't find it to be a secret anymore, do you? You have a full understanding of what they're doing and what they're about to announce. And now that you have Article 140, look, everything is busting open. There's more. Do you want more, by the way, or should we just stop? It's already 8 o'clock. Maybe it's gone on too long. What do you think? Should I stop? And let's see here. Yeah, Frank, please stop. Thank you, Frank. I would really appreciate it if you just stop. Stop. Oh, come on. How do you say it when somebody is trying? I'm milking it, huh? I'm milking it, right? Yeah. Oh, you don't have to do that. Okay, you guys stop. No, keep going. No, yeah. Just stop. No, yeah. Don't stop. I mean, stop. KTFA family. Article 140 is old. It's very old. It's like about 12 years old. The issue was who was going to control the oil and gas? But, Mr. Walking Stick, that has been resolved. With all the meetings that we had in Herbal, we were there too. And all this information that is coming from the satchels, from the articles, will soon, very soon, be released. Will soon, very soon, be released. So, he didn't ask him this question, but I did. So did you ask him when they're going to sit the government? More than likely, Frank, around the 9th is what they're targeting. But if they don't do that, excuse me, but if they don't do that, he doesn't care. He doesn't care. I've told you many times, Frank, my friends are not politicians, and they don't care what the GOI is doing. They only care what the CBI tells them to do. They are Iraqi bankers. That's what they are, man. And that's what they're doing. Mr. Walking Stick, what? When they introduce the GOI, that's when the exchange rate will be exposed in the budget, because it will require laws to be voted on, to be passed, for the exchange rate to be used for the reforms. We're almost done. About 5 more minutes. Now listen carefully. Mr. Walking Stick. Matthew Waters, thank you. In fact, that reminds me, hold on a second. Mr. Walking Stick, this is really important. When they announced the government of Iraq is finally seated, the new budget will be introduced to Parliament. You should write this down. The new budget will be introduced to Parliament. You see, the budget is a number of laws within a law. This is important. It is at that time that they will expose the laws. These laws will be read upon the receiving of the budget at Parliament. The reading of the budget laws by line item. If you're a student with me, you know very well what I mean by that and why I exaggerate it. I told you, what is one of the line items? When they're finished reading the reading of the budget laws and passing by line item, it will reveal the exchange rate. That's right, Chip. It will reveal the exchange rate. What did I tell you that Eddie said last week when the governor of the Central Bank of Iraq comes out on television, Channel 1, main news, and he says to the Iraqi citizens, hey, psst, this me, I'm the governor of the Central Bank of Iraqi. Yeah, what's up, homies? Hey, I can't tell you I'm going to raise the value of our currency. It's against the law. It's against our Constitution. Huh? Oh, excuse me. I can't tell you we're going to raise it, okay? Okay. Excuse me. But I can tell you we're not going to raise it. How's that? We're not going to raise it. So there. And as much as I'm exaggerating this right now like a clown, that's pretty much what he did too. He's like, I got you. And you know this. Where's the framework? Where's Malachi? Where's all these people that were bugging us? Do you see any delays? Don't you see us moving faster than lightning? We told you around the 9th we're going to try to get that budget out. And if they do, family, what did I just read to you? Of course, it's in my opinion. The CBI governor last week said to the Iraqi citizens, I can't tell you what I want to tell you. The education of the citizens and the international markets have been well educated on what is about to happen with the IQD. It is no longer a secret to anybody. Ladies and gentlemen, they wait for the CBI to tell them when to open the satellite banks. Ta-da. I hope you understand what I just told you, and I want to thank you for being with us tonight. I pray that you were really enriched with those first that hour and a half. Oh my goodness, those two products. It's revolutionizing diabetes. I'm not sitting here telling you it's going to cure it. Why don't you try it and see what happens to your numbers, and then tell me if it did anything for you. It's got a guarantee, and that's what's nice about it, too. I love you. I do. I love you in the way Jesus told me to love my neighbor. Now, I love you in the way that agape grabs you. I'm very grateful. And allow me once again to ask for your help. They talked to Walking Stick yesterday and today. The operation will occur more than likely next week. Oh, wait a minute. Probably within the inside of the next roughly 10 days. And he needs his immunotherapy again before he goes for that major operation. As you know, we collect $1,650 every 2 weeks. And if it's not collected, then we make sure we take care of it. But if anybody wants to help, again, with our dear brother Walking Stick, for him to pay for his immunotherapy, call me. Please call me. My phone number is 419-283-2552. It doesn't matter, $5, $10, whatever you want to help us with. There are over 80,000 members at KTFA. There's always someone that wants to help someone like Walking Stick. You know that Walking Stick was our first news hound for about, I think, 5 or 6 years. He did almost 200,000 posts. He never asked for a penny. Y'all take care of each other. God bless you. I love you, and I'll talk to you in the future again. We'll see you this coming Monday. Now, unless something major happens, sure, we'll have an emergency UB-Tubi, but it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. I think he was with the Cincinnati Reds. Yeah, he was a catcher. Just get yourself in a good position, okay? Put that mitt, okay? Adjust your mask. Get ready. Here comes that fastball. I like that rate. Hoorah. God bless you all. Take care. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
What's in front of you?
Nothing.
Let me see.
Nothing.
No.
Yeah.
I'm coming over there.
You would?
I'm coming over there.
No, you're not gonna come. No, come. No, get near me. No, go. It's not a cookie.
I know it's not a cookie.
Yes.
It's baklava.
I got another one.
No.
Bye-bye.